So let's understand the sort command in Unix. So you can sort files using the sort command. By files I mean the contents within a file can be sorted. Sorting can be done on specific column as well as on multiple columns. That depends upon what type of a file I'm talking about. A file might simply contain numbers, a file might contain a free flowing text, or the file itself might be organized using some fields where the first column or first field indicates employee number, second field indicates employee name. So I might have the data in similar format available in a text file. So sort does not modify the contents of the file after sorting. This is very important. So don't expect the sort command to modify your original file. Sort command simply reads the contents from a file. Depending upon the input that you have provided, it would sort the contents of that file, and the sorted output will only be displayed on the screen. It does not go and reorganizes the data in the file itself. It displays the sorted output only on the standard output device. However, there are ways and means by which you can redirect that output to some file, or you can ask sort to overwrite the previous file with the sorted result. But the default behavior is simply read the file, read the sorting instructions, sort the contents of the file, and display the sorted contents on the standard output device is the default behavior. In its most generic format, sort would be written as sort followed by options if any, followed by file list if there is one file, or there could be even multiple files. Say for example, we had a file the other day, words.txt. I can ask sort to sort it, and by default it would sort it in ascending order. So see here, this is my file. The other day we created it. If I say sort followed by file, it sorts it in a alphabetical order. If I check my file now, there is no change in my file. The sorted results are only displayed on the screen. So earlier the first line was CAT, CET, COT, BAT, CUT, BUT. But if you see the other way, once we apply the sort command, the sorted input from words.txt was sorted in an alphabetic order from A to Z. So I hope so that there is no confusion regarding the way it has been sorted. So the lowercase characters are sorted above their uppercase equivalents. But although the sorting has done this, or the sort command has done the sort using the alphabetic order on the file, also there is a case consideration here. You can ask it to do a reverse sort by saying -r. In this case, the file has been reverse sorted. The contents are again still intact. So if I check my contents of the original file, they are still as they were at the beginning of this exercise. So the sorted results were reversed with a -r switch of the sort command in this case. So it reverse sorts a file. Now let's understand what happens when it comes to files that contains numbers. So I said nums.txt, and I am typing couple of numbers such as 1, 9, 8, 4, 6, 10, 5, say 2. So I have this file which contains garbled data in no particular order as such. So when I check, there is no order for this particular file, for the data within this file rather. Now understand what if I do sort on the file. So this was the simplest form of sort. I said sort followed by file name without any options. So when I say sort, well, the file is still correctly sorted, but not the way you expected it to sort. The file is still correctly sorted as far as the technicality of sorting is concerned. The sorting has happened correct, but it's not in the same order as you would have expected it to be. Reason: the file contains numbers, whereas the sort command has anticipated it as a textual data, and text is sorted this way only, right? So the file is sorted correctly, but assuming that the file contains text. But if you want to indicate otherwise, that this is to be sorted assuming that the file contains numbers, then you must pass -n argument to sort for doing a numeric sort on the file. When I say -n, now the file is sorted appropriately, because now it's treating them as numbers. So after 1, it will not be 1 0. So after 1, it would be the next higher number 2, so on up till the last higher number in my file, which is 10. This is the numeric order for sorting. If I wanted to do an exact opposite of this, I would have done -n for numeric sort, R for a reverse numeric sort on the file, and the file gets sorted reverse numerically. Sometimes the files might contain fields, and those fields themselves are separated by some column separator character. Just to give you an analogy as to what I mean, on the shared drive where the text of my session is captured, there are two files there called as emp.txt and dept.txt. Now if I open this emp.txt, see the way the file is sorted. It's nothing but your emp table from the Oracle Scott schema. Here the fields, these are nothing but fields, and there is a column separator or a field separator in my case, which I have deliberately added as a pipe operator, because a pipe normally does not appear as part of a column text. So I deliberately used it as a character which separates two columns from each other. So if I look at this file, this is a delimited field separator. By delimiter I mean using some field separator, the pipe. So there are several fields in my file, 8 to be precise, and they are separated with 7 field separators. Now this is not a free flowing text data in my file. So this is not a free flowing text. It's a file which has some logical structure. Now what if I want to sort a file the way you would have sorted it using select star from emp order by something? By something you put a column name. What if I want to accomplish the same result here? Then let me create those files first. So I am opening emp.txt, copying in the data. I am putting it here. I saved it. Now what if I want to accomplish something similar to a SQL query where I am saying sort the second column of the file, which is employee names. Now in this case, understand the way we write the sort command. So I am saying sort, but this time I am using -t option to indicate the delimiter between the fields. The delimiter in my case is the pipe operator. -k stands for key field. Key field is the field on which you want to start the sort operation on. So I said start the sort operation on the second column of that particular file, and the file itself is emp.txt. So when I do this, see, my entire file got sorted, where 7876 is the record for Adams, because Adams in an alphabetic order comes prior to Alan, and Alan in an alphabetic order comes prior to Blake, and Clark comes after Blake. So the whole file was sorted on second column. So it's as good as saying select star from EMP order by ename. So this is a SQL query equivalent of this one. So where the whole file was sorted on a particular column. Normally when you start by mentioning the key field number, this is the field where the sorting begins. Question is, where does the sorting ends then? The sorting would end at the line termination symbol, which is /n. So it will consider from everything from the second field, third field, fourth field, and accordingly the file will be sorted. But when I look at the output, well, it doesn't tells me much about this because you have all unique names. So there was no reason why I should consider anything beyond second field. But consider that a particular column has repetitive values. Then which repetitive value would come first and which would come second would be an arbitrary question to answer. In which case, the multiple other fields that are there on that particular line would also be considered while sorting. When you do not want to do this, you want the sorting should be primarily done only on second field, not anything that comes beyond second field. Then you can start the sort at column 2 and stop it at column 2, saying do not consider any more columns beyond column 2. Whereas this one, this variation says consider key field 2 and beyond. Whereas this one tells only do it on the second field. Do not consider anything else beyond this one. When I check this, well, visibly there would be no change in the output. Because I said in our second key field, which is employee name, there aren't repetitive values. So whether I consider the other ones or whether I ignore other ones, so it's all going to be the same. It would have been only a matter of concern when a given column would have had multiple repetitive values, then how to determine which row would appear first and which row would appear as second. So that is the time when those multiple sort criteria would be useful. Now when I look at this particular record of Martin, I am looking at the salary figure of 1250. Whereas when I look at the record of Ward, employee number 7521, his salary is also 1250. Now this is the case where I am saying if I try to do the sort operation on only the salary column, there would be a confusion which salary would come first, which salary would come second, in which case multiple other columns input would be considered. So when I do this now, let's say I want to sort my file on the basis of salary. The salary figure is a number. If I don't treat this as number, it will be considered as text. The whole output might not make sense. That's why I am saying do it as a numeric sort, because I know that particular column is a numeric column, and then I would count which is that field where I want to do that sort operation. So it's field 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So I said start doing the sort at column number 6, and when I do this, this is the output. Now, well, I am only interested in this particular case. Where the salary of employee Ward and Martin is all the same. So we need to understand what if there are multiple repetitive values. So in this case, why Ward appeared before Martin, or for that matter why Martin appeared before Ward, it would all depend upon the way the file is structured, the way the other column contributes into the sorting, and accordingly the sort results would appear on your screen. Now what if I wanted to, so it has sorted on the salary column from the lowest value to the highest value, basically an ascending order. for numeric sort. What if I wanted to do this reverse? So simply put -n to indicate a number, numeric sort, -r for a reverse sort, and then mention the field. So in this case, the whole of the salary was sorted in a different order. In this case, Ward's record is below Martin's record in the reverse chronological order, although their salary appears to be the same. What if I put start and stop sorting at column 6? There may or may not be necessarily any change, but here I am restricting my sort only on field number 6. When I do this, I see Martin still comes before Ward. So there may or may not be. It's only when you put some sample values in place, then you would realize what's the difference between -k6 and by saying -k6, 6. Sometimes you may want to do the sorting in a numeric reverse chronological order on a specific key field, the way we have done it on 6. Sometimes you may want to redirect the sorted output. I told you the original file never changes in the sort. What if I want to capture it in some file? So understand the way we are writing it. I said sort. This is not a free flowing text file. So I said it's a file which has several fields, and those fields themselves are delimited using a pipe operator. Then I said sort it on the basis of employee names. Only on employee names. So start the sort at 2 and end it at 2, followed by the name of my file, and then I am redirecting the output to a different file which does not exist as on date but would be created. There would be no output coming on my screen. Instead, the whole of the output has now gone to sorted.emp, and now my file is sorted. Clear? So that's what I said initially, that sort does not modifies by default the input file. If you, however, want to capture, you can send it to by output redirection to a different file. People say, now how many files I have? You have 2 files now, the original one and the sorted one with whatever sort criteria you mentioned. Now I am taking a backup of my emp.txt because next exercise is somewhat dangerous. So I made a fresh copy of this thing. So I said make a backup of emp.txt as if it's emp.bak. So once it has been backed up, now I can talk about how to redirect the output in the same file. What is the difference first in this command and this command? The only difference is the way it's being redirected. In this case, it's overwrite sorted.emp. Here it's append to sorted.emp. That's the only difference. Sorts the file emp.txt on the key field 2 and then redirects. It should have been ename, right? Second field is ename. And then redirects the whole of the output to a new file emp.txt. If sorted.emp already exists, it would be appended. So the contents would be appended. That's the only difference between this and this. Now the question is, I don't want to create several files. I don't want to preserve my original unorganized data in emp.txt, and then I don't want to create further sorted output by redirecting it to a different file. That creates for me several files. So people say, what if I say redirect it to the same file? So I am reading the input data from emp.txt, sorting it using some logic, and then the whole of the output is being sent to, redirected to emp.txt. See what happens now on emp.txt. It all became a 0-byte file. So using the regular redirection logic, where the input file is same as that of the output file, will not work with sort. So especially when you are dealing with some critical data and you are trying to sort it, so always take a backup if you are at a doubt, because you may eventually end up deleting your own file. I mean, it's not the file got deleted, the contents within the file are erased now. So you can't redirect by reading the input from the same file and redirecting the sorted results to the same. Well, there is a way to do this. It's not that it's not possible. So I'm restoring back my backup now. So I said copy my back as my original file. And now there is a different way to accomplish this. This only applies for sort command. So don't apply -o logic to every other command. -o is an option only with sort command. Again I am saying sort -t, pipe as the delimiter on the basis of second field alone from emp.txt and -o, which is for output file, to which I am saying emp.txt again. Now see here, before sort, this is my emp.txt, names in any random order, followed by the command. This is my file after the sort, all names in an alphabetic order, A to Z. Clear? So when it comes to the same input file where you would like to redirect the sort output, use -o argument. Clear? Very important. When the input file and output file is the same, then you can use the -o option instead of using the output redirection symbol. I told you what are the nuances of using a output redirection symbol against the same file. The next command is the cut command. Cut command cuts a file vertically. It's as good as a projection operation in your SQL. When you say select star from EMP, how many columns are displayed? All the columns. What if I want to see a specific column such as employee name and salary? Then you say the projection operation. Select ename, sal, where ename and sal are the attributes in my projection from EMP table. So what if I want to accomplish something similar to this? Then you can make use of cut command. The cut command allows you to stripe a file vertically. So you can cut a file vertically. You can cut on the basis of either the character position or on the basis of column position. So see here. In its most generic format, the cut command is written as cut -d followed by the delimiter. Remember, in sort, the delimiter was mentioned using -t, whereas the same delimiter for a cut command is mentioned using -d. -f, the field list that you want to cut from the file. In its most generic format, I would have written it by saying cut -d, pipe as the delimiter, -f1, which is the first field, emp.txt. So let's do this. I said cut -d, pipe as the delimiter, -f2 from emp.txt. So this operation is as good as saying select ename from emp. What if I wanted to have emp ename as well as salary? So I know ename is the second column, salary is the sixth column. When I do this, it's as good as saying select ename, salary from emp. So projection operation with two columns. So here I have used only one column, F1. Here I am using two columns, F1 and F3. So when it is a field list can have a comma in between. If I want to have more than that, I would have had. So this is as good as saying select ename, salary, commission from EMP, more than one fields. If you want to display a range of fields, I wanted to display all fields between 2 to 4, which means 2, 3, 4 from emp.txt. I would have said this way. So this is field 2, field 3 and field 4. Field 2 is ename, field 3 is job, field 4 is MGR's ID, manager's ID. you could display by putting an open range, where I said I want field 3 and beyond. By beyond I mean until the end of the line. Everything from field 3 is now there. So open range, this is a closed range where there is a starting column number 2, ending column number 4. In this case it's a open range. Starting column number 3, there is no ending column mentioned, which means up till the end of the line. You can mention multiple ranges. So I said display field 1 to 2, comma, and field 3 to 4. This is as good as saying field 1, 2, 3, 4. But you can mention discrete ranges as well. Well, this was the case when the file has fields. Not every time. Remember, we are talking about those days when there were no databases products in the market. Everything, including the user data, used to be stored into flat files, text files. And then there would have been multiple programs which would cut the required data when it comes to putting a business system in place. So there were only flat files with some structure to it, and then there would be custom written programs that would do the data manipulation within those flat files. This is how people used to have their own customized databases and the programs, DBMS programs, which is nothing but a program written in C which will do the data manipulation for you. But now we have databases, so you don't need to worry about how the data is stored, how it's going to retrieved. With a high level SQL language coming in picture, you just have to mention what is that you want, not how you want to get it done. Meaning with SQL, with any other traditional procedural programming, for writing a program you need to have two things known. Number one, what is that the program is supposed to do. Next thing is how, the procedural logic. Go to the file, open the file, if the file is not opened, error out, open the file in so and so mode, go to so and so record, skip these many records, read this particular field, close the file, so on and so forth, was the procedural logic. With SQL, the how part has been erased. The how part is bundled with the DBMS system itself. So now you need not worry any further. The how part of it, you just have to mention your requirement with SQL saying what. So I said select ename from EMP where dptno is equal to 10. Remember, this is only the what part of it, not the how part of it. So I simply said what's my requirement. I want to see the employee names for all those employees, those who belong to department number 10. But earlier that was not the case. There were no databases product then. So the data organization was a conceptualized thing. You need to design the way the data would have been laid out in a file, in a flat file. It could have been a file similar to my emp.txt or a file in any other format for that matter. For example, I am now talking about a fixed emp.txt. There is a difference between this emp and the previous emp. Now in this case I am writing the data by eliminating the pipes. I believe this is the longest name that we have in the file, Miller or Martin for that matter, and precedent is the longest of all the designations that you have there. This is another way of organizing data where each field is fixed width. the width of a particular field is fixed. I said employee number in my organization is always 4 digit. Maximum employee name could be of 6 characters. Maximum designation can have characters 9, president or salesman for that matter. Maximum manager ID can be of 4 digits. Joining date always would be of 9 characters at the max. Salary has to be at the max 4 digits. Commission at the max has to be of, say, how much? 4 digits. And department number would always be of 2 digits. Now there is no field separator here. All the fields are stuck to each other in some cases, whereas they are not stuck to each other in other cases. So what if I have a file like this? This is called as a fixed width file. Now how do I do a cut operation on such files? So remember, there are 2 types of files people used to use then. One is a field wise file where the fields are separated with some delimiter, and the second type where the fields have a fixed width, so there is no space wasted in between them. So they might be stuck to each other, just joint. It might appear as if they are joint columns, where in some cases you might see one or more than one spaces if the value is falling short of the fixed width. So I said employee name can be of 6 characters. What if the name of the employee is Ward? Then there would be 2 spaces, so on and so forth. Now what if I want to cut such a file, because now the challenge is I do not have a delimiter. Then how to vertically stripe it? Files can also be striped on the basis of character position or on the basis of column position. So I can now stripe that same file. I want employee name. So employee name starts at which field in my fixed EMP? Which character position? 5th. And it continues from 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. Isn't it? So I said cut -C. Remember, there is no D this time for delimiter. Character position 5th to 10th from my new file fixed EMP. Clear? So I got for that particular file all the employee names which I know for sure are from column position 5 to 10, both inclusive, which means total 6 characters. So file could have been cut on the basis of character positions also. You could have done this on multiple fields as well, provided you know where the field starts and ends at which character position. What if I wanted to display employee name and their joining date? Let's count where my joining date appears to be. Employee name I know now. And my joining date starts at what column position? So this is 10th, space is 11th, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16th position it starts at 17th, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So 16 to 24 from fixed EMP. Did we miss on something? Certainly not the output that I would have expected. From 5 to 10. Doesn't seem like we have done a correct job here. This would be 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, the spaces 20, 21, 22, 23. So 24th column is where it starts. Up till 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 up to 32. So here I am cutting on the character position 5 to 10, and the second range from 24 to 32 character. Eventually what I got here is employee name and his joining date, DOJ. I don't know, it's joining date or DOB, whatever is that column. So I think it's a higher date. So it's a date of joining. So this is what you have cut from a file which is of fixed column width. So cut command helps you to stripe a file vertically. Now what if I want to do something similar to distinct clause in your SQL? So what would a distinct clause do? Distinct clause will display one value for every repetitive set and one value for non-repetitive sets. So when I say there are repetitive values, see what I mean by this. So I have words.txt file. Let me remove all unwanted one to make it more clear. And then I said one more cat, one more bat, one more cot, one more cut. So there are multiple cuts, repetitive words. Now understand this first, how the command works. The uniq command, unique command, is more or less similar to the distinct clause in SQL. It displays the distinct set of values. By distinct set of values I already explained, from a repetitive set it will only display once, and for non-repetitive set it will display it anyways once. Note, before you even think of doing this, note this. The file must be sorted before you apply unique commands on that file. So first I will have to sort the file. So I am sorting it now. I said sort words.txt, sorted words.txt. I said show me sorted words.txt, it's already sorted now. So now you see 2 bats, 2 cats, 2 cots and 2 cuts are close to each other, which means the file has been sorted from B to C with the alphabetic order A to Z. Once the file is sorted, now I can apply unique command on it. I said uniq followed by the file name. See here, out of repetitive set it displayed only one value. Out of another repetitive set it displayed only one value. Out of repetitive set COT it has displayed only one. Out of repetitive set cut it has displayed only one. And then about non-repetitive values, which is but and CET. So one for every repetitive set and one for every non-repetitive set. This is how your distinct command also works in SQL. Now understand what would have happened if the file wouldn't have been sorted. Well, total chaos. That's why we said in SQL, whenever you put the distinct clause in your select statement, distinct results into an internal sort of data. So Oracle automatically first sorts the data, and then from the sorted outcome it displays the distinct values. So sorting is implicit in case of Oracle, which means the moment I use distinct, it automatically sorts internally and then displays me the sorted output. Here unique command is not that powerful. Unique command can only display you from a sorted file the unique values. It cannot also do a sort operation for you. So it's always imperative that you apply unique command on a sorted file. So sorting is the first operation that one has to do on a file, followed by the unique command. Now unique can do multiple things for you. So when I say unique followed by words.txt, it displays unique and one set of repetitive values. So unique values would anyways be displayed and one set of repetitive value would be displayed. Unique -c followed by words displays the count of repetitive values along with the distinct word. This is even very interesting. I said this, not this, I would have said sorted words.txt. So this is as good as saying select count star comma column group by count star. So you would have said something like select count star comma deptno from emp group by deptno. So it displays how many times a particular value is repeating in a given file. It says bat is twice, but is once, cat is twice, CET is once, cot and cut are both twice. So this is as good as saying a group by clause. Unique -u followed by words.txt or sorted words.txt displays only non-repetitive unique values. All others are repetitive. Bat, caught, cut, bat, caught, bat, cat, caught and cut are repetitive values. They never appeared in my output. It's only about non-repetitive values that -u is for unique. Display only the non-repetitive unique sets. You could have used -d, displays only repetitive value sets. So it does not displays noun. So this is -u is exactly opposite to -d. Here it won't display but and CET. So it only displays repetitive sets. Bat, cat, caught and cut. You could also club them together by saying this. So what I said, display only duplicates and also display the count of their repetition. So in this case, only the duplicates were displayed. Now somebody said, what if I say -u and d of this file?